Flat Earth British, Martin speaking. Welcome back, people, to a sweltering Sunday in the UK. It is definitely, the sun is definitely getting closer. It is literally boiling. So I have made efforts today to make vlogs, but for some reason, because of the heat, I was unable to speak. So I waited for it to cool down. I'm going to make some efforts to get a vlog out. Now I've got an excellent vlog for you here again, people. Along the usual lines of what we think about, which is what exactly did they have in antiquity, a little bit deeper. Okay. What we're going to think about is how advanced was antiquity's knowledge of the human anatomy? Now, do you think they could have had things like CAT scans or X-rays? Yeah, I know, sounds potty. Let's take a look, shall we? And we're going to take a look at some unbelievable, overwhelming evidence I dug up last night, researching for mud flood, beyond a shadow of a doubt, for an event, okay? And loads besides, okay? So I gotta hurry on because I have a Ruby Murray on the way, vegetarian option. It will be within an hour, so it gives me reason to bang a vlog out quick. Say hello to you guys, bring the love. Peace and love. Bring charm. Okay, to you all. And now a lot of you have contacted me and you want me to like have hangouts, things like that. And to be I've no time. I've got no time. Okay, this is the first afternoon off for a while, and I've just been trying to catch up. I have made efforts, as I said, to make vloggage. So big shout to you all anyway. Thanks for popping by. Now I noticed in my subscriptions I'm a little bit under 6,000. subs. Now I can't have a 6k day, which would be an epic event, okay, unless I have 6,000. So if you and your watches, now I am going to take this deeper as I explain, people. Things need to be explained, and it's a journey, okay. There is a destination, okay, but we can't get there just yet because I haven't got no time to explain it all in one fell swoop, okay. And we need to be patient. You need to sub and come back, okay, and we'll get there. We'll get there, okay. I had someone screaming at me in my comments the other day, get on with it. No. Okay, have you heard of the tortoise on the hare? Guess which one I am? Okay, I'm a lively, bouncy tortoise. Information. So, human anatomy. Now, I've discovered, or had passed to me actually, by Victor. Thank you so much. We want to thank Victor. Big shout to Victor. Passed me some documents he dug up which show the human anatomy. Now, the official narrative is, people, right, in the 1800s, we'll say 1880, okay, that if you died, there's a good chance you would have your body dug up by a grave digger or a grave snatcher, body snatcher, as in Burke and Hare. I'm related to Hare, by the way. I'll get to that now. And end up on the slab in the Royal Society, being operated on by a load of toffs, okay, prodding away at you with limited knowledge of the human anatomy. Is this the official narrative? It is, isn't it? Limited in the Dark Ages, usually leeches or sucking the air out using a cup. Well, yeah. Or the Romans had brain surgery and cesarean sections. They could release pressure off the brain with a drill hole. So, this is the official narrative anyway. Loads of clues in between. What I'm going to present now is going to smash the official paradigm, guys. And apart from that, when I show you and explain what I'm trying to say, there's going to be some serious questions. I want to overlay it with an idea. Okay, only an idea, but I'm putting it up there. To do with the missing dead. There should have been millions before us, people. They are not there. Okay, let's get underway. I hope you enjoy this vlogage, and I hope you sit back and enjoy. I gotta hurry through because, as I said, there's a Ruby Murray on the way, and I'm hungry chappy. So that's what I'll be presenting later. But we're going to start here. The human anatomy, apparently, in the 1700s, 1712 in this case, is understood to this level. Okay, now I can understand they cut a cadaver out on a table. There might be a depiction, is there, in this one? Show a few birdage. And it goes on to the human anatomy to some detail like you wouldn't believe. No, it's in the next. So, human anatomy. Now, if you take a human body, would you be able to study intricate parts of the brain, for example? Would you be able to take out alveoli from a lung and map them? Would you be able to map the central nervous system with a pencil in 1712? Now this is going to blow your minds. Now we'll start with the human brain. Now I believe this to be a CT scan of some sorts, people. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but think about it. You go into the human brain, okay, and it's a grey load of matter, okay. You do not get colour-coded sections which show you which each part of the brain does, which is what you're finding here in a 300-year-old text. Everything is numbered and understood to a level which is mind-blowing, okay. This is a three-dimensional brain, and they've literally got every gland, the pineal gland, the adrenal gland and the pituitary gland are all presented here, and all the knowledge of how the brain works. So we have the reproductive system. Now, how is it possible to pull a human body apart and lay its central nervous system out on a table and draw it down three-dimensionally? Is not possible. This sort of detail is not possible for the human brain. Are these human brain electrical waves being mapped? Well, yeah, it is, people. How are they doing this in what's supposed to be not what they told us in the 1700s, okay, people? Are we looking at a section of a CT scan? Yeah, we are, aren't we? It gets weirder, people. I'm not joking. This is just crazy stuff. It is absolutely crazy. Stop bringing me stuff. Okay, now. So go through section at a time. You can see which bits are highlighted. So, alright, we'll just run with what we think is happening. They got some amazing scalpel blades, and they're cutting in slices that thin, and then go through each section and know what each section of the brain does. People, this would be invaluable now. I've gone through medical journals. They are not as detailed as this, people. They're not. You can get computers today which can do that. How is it that they're so advanced in the early 1700s, just coming out of the 1600s, people? The human brain. How are they understanding this to this level? So what I've been surmising is, on my last post, I was talking about the book Frankenstein, wrote in a reset period, 1811 to 1812, the year of the comets. And he uses vast amounts of electricity to reanimate the dead. They're soulless, but he reanimates the dead. What if they were doing that? What if they were taking dead into these church machines, and that's what they were doing, catching comet plasma power and reanimating the dead, chucking it out there? Sorry, this is not a human being doing this to that level. Is it genius? How can you do a slice of brain, put it out on a bench, and do a plate of it, guys? Yeah, I know. It's a CT scan of sorts, isn't it? They even look 100% like CT scans, people. Each thing, they know what it does. So they got the pineal gland. So they have complete understanding of what the pineal gland does. Lets in light, like another eye, and everything is in there. Guys, you won't believe what's to come. It's just mind-blowing. The workings of the inner ear, which is the ample bone in the ear, is the smallest bone in the human body, but it pays an appearance here. It's just, I just can't imagine human beings taking apart cadavers to this level and finding out all this. I just can't imagine it. To that detail, people. Are they geniuses or what? So this one's all about the human brain. I've got another document and it goes into, God, it's dodgy. So there's a section of human brain again. I believe these to be hair follicles. Now, I grow my hair. I believe the hair follicles go into basically to the brain fluid and cause some sort of psychic reaction. I believe it's true. I believe it's encoded in the Bible through the Samson and Delilah. She cut off his hair, he lost his strength. And it's the first thing they do when you're getting you in the army or in a prison or in some sort of institution, is they cut your hair because they know. Okay, so this is what they're doing with cadavers apparently, and they are documenting them to that level. It is just unparalleled. I think they're CT scans. I think there's some other technology. This is another one. Now, it's just mind-blowing, this, people. These are like babies and all sorts, or little demon babies actually. But what they're showing, look, it's an entire nerve system, people. How is that done? Try and maybe somebody could enlighten me how they could be doing this in this very early period. I'll get to the beginning. It is quite mind-blowing. Excuse me. Okay, let's get back a bit. So it gives you the date. I think it's 1812, maybe a bit earlier. Oh God, how many are we going to go back here? This is such a big text. Well, let's just go through what we can anyway. You get the idea, probably. Okay, so dentistry. Okay, to this level. Okay, the human ear to this level. And it goes back to the beginning of the book. It'll give you the date. Now it gives you the entire nervous system further on this way, people, as I've shown you. So the workings of every single part of the human. Now I can get that he might be able to draw this by when it's laying on a slab, but not the nervous system, not three-dimensionalized. And this sort of caper, you know, the bone marrow, the honeycombing, and everything, every part of it. I don't know what these are. Human eye. They know more than what they're telling us. Okay, this is a good 100 years before the Royal Society, but they are sort of Royal Society eyeballs. There's a thing going on with opticians, people. Or again, no, this is just, it's detail, people. How's this printing done? What's the official story of the printing press? Came along, what, 100 years or plus just before this, with the Caxton Press, etc. It's just all bullshit narratives, people. This just kills a lot of narratives. The detail. How are they seeing this? How are they documenting all of these individual lines of what's been going on in the human body? Is genius. It's amazing to my mind, people. There's something else going on. Again, CT scan. Is it not? Okay, now they go through human brain. Look at this. Look at this. How could they know? I just don't know, guys. It's just too amazing for me. They document like nerve endings and alveoli of lungs in the beginning. I'm sure you know. Or a strange sound coming from somewhere. Excuse me, let's just get through it a bit more. So lungs, alveoli. So I can imagine you getting into a lung, stripping it out and getting the alveoli out and then laying it out on a table. Not, people. You couldn't do it with alveoli. It would fold in. It would just... You wouldn't be able to do it, okay? It would just sludge out. It would look like sludge on a table. It would not be able to be presented that way. The alveoli inside the lungs. How is it done? The detail. We get to the date at the beginning. It's just incredible. So, reproductive system, a baby cadaver. Some that are not really, they're further along. I don't know what they are. Sort of non-humans. Into the reproductive systems, as I said, we'll scooch through. How can they do this? It's three-dimensionalized, people. It's a scan. You couldn't draw it. The human mind cannot conceive and do this. It's not. Something else is going on. Think about it. To that detail, people. They know all. Jesus Christ, this is like crazy advanced stuff. Okay, I'll put the link for this in the descriptions box. You may want to get a look at the latest stuff with them strange non-humanoid infant things with giant elongated heads. So look at this. To the solar plexus, the breathing system. They know all of it. So are they, you know, doing, they understand the chromatic system then, do they, people, where they're doing acupuncture and the like, outside of Western philosophy, but they're based on different physics, I'm aware. No, you can't lay that out on a table and draw it. You just can't. It's the nerve endings, people. They're not even that visible or even visible. No. No, man, this is something else. It gives you more details, people, later on. It's just, this is the craziest stuff I've ever seen. How can this be done? They got CT scans in antiquity then. That's a spinal column. Freaky infant. A lot of freaky infants. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't really want to look at them. It's too freaky. Human anatomy. I got bones I get. They look like photographs. So I think we'd be missing something, what they've been teaching us. We think we're going to forget about official narratives from this moment on, people. These are CT scans. They are. I can see they are. Can you see they are? So is this fake? It's just handed? This much detail, this much effort for an old document? What to make of it, people? What to make of it? And I think it's 1712 or something. It just goes on. There's so much of it. It is fascinating. Regardless. Yeah, it's getting through to the beginning. So, I said there's just a lot of it. Dig into it, people. You might have a bit of a... it's very knowledgeable, actually. It's more than they tell us in the modern day journal. It really is. They just don't show you all this. Just don't. I've never seen anything so detailed in all my life. And I used to have a little fascination with medical journals. I used to read them. It's just, no, never seen the like in the modern day. Do you understand? It's nerve endings. How is this being shown? Oh my god, this is just crazy stuff. So how's a spinal column with its the spinal juice and a nerve endings and a nerve system being shown? How can you see that when you take it out of a cadaver? Maybe you can, but it all looks like red blood. You can identify things, but they sort of fold in when they're taken out and just disfigure and turn and everything. It's just the lungs, alveoli. There you are. Having to Pope Clementus VI, and we're looking at a date of, oh Jesus Christ, 1716. People. And this is the Royal Society of the day. It's exactly what I'm talking about. This is 150 years off, 160 years off the Royal Society, people. They got a similar thing going down, and they're doing cadavers on a table. They're chucking the bits to dogs. So I take it hygiene's not involved. Wow. They look like scans. Wow. What we don't know about antiquity. No, anyway, people, let's move on. Second part of this vlog, because I've got a Ruby Murray on the way, is mud flood evidence, okay? You ready? Now, going through a lead atlas I found last night, absolutely ballistically good. There's so many questions in this, it boggles your mind. How are they making these maps and projections? This is 1733 Rome, and they have every single individual building on there. Okay, and the staff boat system, the Colosseum. But one thing I discovered while going through these is buildings that I sort of recognise, and I thought, oh, that's around now, and I bring it up, and they 100% have been inundated with mud. So this is definite now, people. It was anyway. But what you're going to find is all of these are taken from outside the city. Outside the city is always debris of a previous set. And you will see tree stumps and everything is inundated with mud, okay? For every lead atlas, you're seeing the same intro. Although here you've got Rome, St. Peter's, Basilica, etc. In this, they present the Vatican, which is a fortress, as you know. but I want to get to the point, the whole point. Now, this was proposed by Mr. Austin yesterday. I seen this would be the doomsday clock. He thinks it's the biggest sundial, most accurate sundial, but I think it's a power augmenting device. The whole shape. They show this right through antiquity. They got them in Babylon and Nineveh, even London in the modern day. These pillars, batteries if you like, the whole thing works in tandem with this. Okay, inner knowledge, ununderstood, but I can see it in my mind. It works on vibrational things. I see it spinning and into these torsion fields, and my mind gets it, but I have no words to explain it. So this is my problem. This is made in 1733, yet it looks like a photograph. How can somebody be up in the air doing this, for a start off? Okay, so is it an air balloon? No. Now, how is somebody conceiving this in their mind? You can't, people. You can't conceive a certain direction of a city correctly from your mind from an aerial perspective. It's impossible. Do they have drones? One of you guys, I think it might have been Lee, Flat Earth British, or Captain Kirk, presented an old Gallica showing a guy drawing a city like that, and it was a big extension of levers onto a screen, and what he was drawing was being made bigger and in more detail on a screen, sort of an Etch-a-Sketch, a stenciling kit, very advanced. And I'm wondering if it was a cross between that and silkscreen printing process that could make these images. Okay, now I want to get to the point, because I'm time, as I said, I got some food coming and I haven't eaten. I've been so busy. Now, I compared inside St. Peter's Basilica on Google. You may want to do it yourself, because I'll be putting this in the descriptions box. A few mind-blowing things. This fountain, well, it's not there now. It's got a ship. How do they pump this much water up in antiquity? Well, we know that in Versailles, Louis XVI has a pumping system called the La Machine, which is an elaborate system of levers, apparently cows and the like drive. So what you're going to find is the most beautiful architecture on earth, and it's all inundated mud in the streets. All the streets have no infrastructure, and everything is inundated with mud inside St. Peter's Basilica. There's more going on than you can possibly imagine. If you follow my vlogs, the weird squirrely whirly strange whale penis like columns are in the Vatican, but there's a lot of symbology in there I don't want to go into. Okay, so here too, okay, Jesuit overtone, and what you get is bit of biblical happenings, and then underneath, of course, in the Vatican, you got Demon. I think that one's one as well. And some dodgy looking papal dudes. Okay, as you do. Okay, as you do. Oh, very, very fucking iffy, isn't it, people? So, how are you enjoying the flat Earth scene at the moment? Still good stuff around, isn't it? Get over here. Let's discover together. No, I discovered a load of mud flooders, and I thought, oh shit, look at this building. It's a mud flooding. You see the mud coming up here, all the way up to there. And then it keeps on coming up, and it comes up to a door here. And I thought, oh shit. Well, they've just made a door out of one of these things here, haven't they? Okay. Now, I think with their architecture, this is that civilization. Half windows. So all of it is like it, and I find a few examples and I compare them with the modern day, and we can 100% nail that before 1733 there was a huge mud flood, or the ground level definitely rose. The buildings did not sink. Somebody put in a comment. No, I don't think that could have happened. Not on this scale. It would have to be the entire city. Okay, this building here. Okay, it was, I believe, the Pope's secretary's residence. As you can see, there's a lower tier here, windows there, and they've built into one of the windows an elaborate outer piece, if you like, and then a doorway going in. But you can clearly see. Okay, now I'm going to show you it in the present day, so I'll just go a bit smaller. Okay, I have one saved to do a comparison. Okay, so let's just bring that up a bit to a size you can appreciate. Okay, there she is. You can see it there. And I will bring up the picture. And there she is there. Okay, so as you can see, the road is in front of these little windows that you can see by there. Okay, let's bring it up again, excuse me. Okay, there then, this is in 1733, this one. And there they are there, and now the road is outside all the way up to that level, when you can clearly see that in 1733 there was all of this showing, okay, and there was mud outside. So I'll just show you that once more, because it is a mud flood nailed, and there's many more as well. You can compare yourself. I just done 2 buildings I recognised, and they 100% show mud flood difference. And I found one, because I know what to look for now, I found an overwhelming one in my city as well today. So, which has got a historical overtones to Antarctica. Philip Ducine has posted more Moscow mud floody stuff. Okay, so we move on. Okay, now they show other examples of mud flood in this, people, which we can compare. This is how we know that this thing was real, and it happened over and over. I think when they touched up these buildings with these these stairwells going up to previous windows, you can see everything's in mud. You can't tell me they can build this and they can build this, people, okay, and they can't lay fucking pavements and paving slabs and pavements, okay. You can see the mud there, okay. The pillars half buried. Everything is inundated in the streets, okay, everything at this period. And this is beyond reasonable doubt, people. You can see these comparisons. I can show you many in this book, and they all show differences to the modern day. Okay, the road level has come up on that example, maybe 25 foot. These people with the wooden market, okay, are not the people who built that. Okay, the pagan church that is the Parthenon, or the architecture of Rome primarily. These people have not built. Okay, as you can see, it's just covered in shit outside everywhere, and they can't lay a fucking pavement. They can build the best waterfall features. How do you think that's pumped, people, in 1733? Somebody want to enlighten me? Vacuum pumps? Got horses under the square if they driving a huge motor. Aquifers? How is it pumped? Yet, the street's covered in mud. It makes no sense, people. And plus, I just showed you the differences in buildings beyond reasonable doubt, wouldn't you say? Again, obelisks, massive waterfalls, people out in the street. These are the survivor race. These are the people who have been tightening up. You can see the mud level. You can see it going up. You can see what they've done as well. You see as it went down the street. Can't you? These buildings go a lot lower, people. Mud flooded Rome. Okay, but they are beautiful. They're all taken from an aerial perspective. If somebody got any ideas for how this could be done with the human mind, I know Pierre van der Haar was a genius, but mud flooder, you see, they're everywhere. And the more you study and you can compare, I'll give you this, compare yourself, people. You can see these buildings in a modern day. This one here is there today, and you can see that staircase is going up to what was previously a window, and the Spanish steps in between all of this beautiful ornate statues. You got a race of survivors in bunkers underground hanging their washing out. Now, do you think all of this beautiful architecture, the Spanish steps, goes with people hanging their washing out outside? And people, these people are not the people who built all this. It's obvious, and they're all mud flood affected. And tied up. There you are, half buried. Okay, a rock. Can they clean the rocks up? Obviously not. Now, these events explain where all the old trees have gone. There's no old trees. They explain that they got rid of them for, deforestation of Britain when Britain was an entire forest. In fact, a lot of Europe was. So, yeah, I got a photograph of that. I'll show you shortly in the modern day. Okay, and you can see how it's changed. Okay. And more architecture, all mud flood affected, and all can be compared to the modern day. Okay, most of these are still there. So a big help and definite 100% busts. This is overwhelming. So how can the human mind conceive this picture? Now obviously the first thing that jumps out in your mind is a half-buried arch at the bottom of the Albion Way. It's all buried in mud, people. Rome was not taken out by age and entropy. This civilization, Rome and Greece, is them. We recognize that architecture like almost an instant. It's got taken out by events this deep in the mud, which is about the same as what we've seen on that inundation of that building just now. I'd say about 25 foot. Okay? Looking on the height of the people. And the height of how much that is buried. Now, it's not the only picture. Giorgio Piranesi has also painted this at the same period. And the people who occupy are in wooden, shitty cabins and living not all that brilliantly in the ruins of a smashed and buried civilization. Not the only one. I think there's at least 2, maybe 3 resets in this place. Bridges taken out by events, not actually made good. And these, as you can see, people, right, you've got all of this on 8, look, and you got mud on the side in these crappy little side buildings. They're built by the occupants of this time, okay? They can't even replicate the stonemasonry. You get it? It's a definite, people. How is the human mind conceiving this? And he's like floating in the air in his mind, and he's imagining painting the Tiber exactly the same as it looks. I've been over a bridge by here on a tube train, alright, looking down exactly that view, and it looks exactly like that, people. He's got it 100%. How? It's a photograph of sorts. There's some technology going on we don't understand. I will get to it. It's more than camera obscura. No, sorry, people. That's a sort of photograph. Each person doing individual things going on. All in a mud-flooded environment. Okay? The later buildings are not inundated because they're only new builds. And they're crap and wooden. Okay? And everything's in mud. It's not grass, it's mud. America's the same. You all watch Wild West movies. You can compare all these, a lot of them are there today, with a modern day, and do it yourself, you look. All inundated, and these windows have been made into doors later. Okay? They don't document this, obviously, because they're hiding it. But there's no denying it. Okay? Again, how can the human mind conceive that aerial view? Is he floating in an air balloon? Does he have a drone? How is that humanly possible, people? We are missing so much. We'll get to it, don't worry. Just got to think a little bit bigger, that's all. A lot bigger, actually. So, fountains pumped by we don't know what, and an inundated, muddy, half-buried, looks buried anyway, arch. Okay, so we're going to move on, because as I said, I got a ruby. That's 3 times, Matt. Thanks for popping by. Have a go for yourself, people. Try and compare these. They tell you what they are underneath. I've done a few myself. This was the Palace of Cologne. That's an unusual feature. That's new to me. It's a coach station. Okay, windows, windows, windows. It's a mud flooded indeed, and they all are. Okay. Okay, we move on. But the style of architecture should warrant a pavement outside at least. So I think that because they plant outside, I think they expect it, these comet storms and these muddy events. I think that they try to block it using town walls, but it still bubbles up inside. Okay, I don't think the buildings drop per se. In some cases with earthquakes, yeah, and they disappear in cracks in the ground, entire cities. But I don't think that's in this case. Over the door, you'll always get the North Star and this Mount Meru thing, and all of these half topless. We know that coding, don't we? These strange creatures which show up all over. They're not really worshipping anything we're aware of, people. In the 1700s, it's not even pagan. It's a death cult, and it is sort of an Isis religion or a Mithra religion. It's something else. It is, people. I think all that might be a psyop too. As you can see, they're making good of a fucking mashed up landscape. Everything's got bunkers. and the Colosseum is completely wrecked. I've got another picture that comes up which will show you a completely wrecked Colosseum. Check that out, people. Portals. Don't know what that done, but they can't build a pavement outside it. Okay, it stinks. Or anybody in history hasn't even pointed that out or noticed. It's just weird. Every one of them are mud flooded, people. Check them out yourself. So what are the giant aerial? I know it's a flagpole, but you don't need all them wires for a flag. It's called a halyard. I used to hang flags at sea regularly, and you do not need all that on St. Angelo Starfort system. It's an aerial. In antiquity, we find plenty of them. It's true. Okay. So I don't know how these are being pumped. As I said, it's a mystery to myself. And there it is with a giant flag. Okay, but I think the aerial does more. And it finishes off with, I think, a French city of Avignon for some weird reason. Maybe it's... Oh, this is supposed to be existing. It's inside of a hill, but there's a side view. I don't believe that's there now. It's immense. Them dots are people, by the way. And there's a map of it, and I just want to cut out here and get into some images. I think that's a Starfort system. It's definitely something to do with the mud flood. And Avignon. A map of Avignon. Why it finishes on that, I'm not quite sure, but beautiful anyway. We're going to move on. Now, I can't really show any more of these up here, but I'll get to them on my next vlog, which will be hopefully tomorrow. So, picks of the day. We're going to move on. I keep this a shortish vlog. So I hope you enjoyed on a Sunday. Bit of a mind blower, eh? Did they have CT scans in the past? And what do you think's going on with these atlases? Why are they like photographs? And overwhelming evidence for mud flood. Okay, keep an eye on that building. You can see steps going up this hill and this staircase and these windows. We'll look at that building later. Here. Okay, we just examined that. So this is Cardiff Docks in 1850. The largest coal port in the world. How do I know it's 1850? I'm dating by the ships. They're not steel. There's still one or two steam powered, but they're early. The cutters. This is 1850 to 60. And what have we got here? We have an electrical box and an electrical capstan to operate the dock gates. 1850s. That is not a hand crank. That's electrical, people. And I've walked across this so many times, and that must have been there. Now, this is a famous hotel in my city. You may see the blue plaque on the wall. It's to commemorate the rooms in here are called the Scott Rooms. Scott of the Antarctica had his last meal here before setting sail from Cardiff in the Terra Nova to his ill-fated voyage in Antarctica. But what you might notice about the Royal Hotel, this is mind-blowing, mind. It's a mud flooder, okay. Yeah, so it's exactly the same again, okay, but I found something fascinating. This is illumination early 1800s, okay. Oh no, actually, that is Paris Exposition 1880s. That is a view of Cardiff Castle in the 1700s. That's not a castle I recognise, and that's not there anymore. What it is, I don't know. And it's in a smashed place, okay. Now this, believe it or not, was the office for a secondary railway station in my city called Queen Street Station. You may see it just behind, right? It's a mud flooder. 4 o'clock face. It looks like it's an atmospheric electricity gathering building, and they knocked it down when I was a baby. And the station. And wait till you see what I replaced it with. Guys, this is a definite communication tower there. Oh no, it's a signal tower for the railway. It's just behind it. Okay, let's move on. And this is the station, Queen Street Station. It's like St Pancras. They knocked it down in Cardiff, and that's the inside. So you could have a nice cup of tea, no rain on your head, and then they replaced it with that piece of shit. It's embarrassing, isn't it, people? What do you make of it? Well, we know what we're doing, because that was a previous set building, and they don't want us to find out. So there's that building again, completely on ground level. Okay, and there's the side of it. And as you can see, the ground level is right there now. And there was a hill going up to the main door where they were still in the process of making this place good. Look it up for yourself. There it is in the night time. Okay, you see them small windows I showed you? And there's the road outside. Okay, it came up 25 foot. This is the Vanderbilt mansion in 5th Avenue I've showed before. Exactly the same in 5th Avenue. Exactly the same style. And it's an energy gatherer. It's probably got an organ in the cellar. In the attic, excuse me. No cellars on Flat Earth. Very interesting. This is the Royal Hamadryde Seamen's Hospital that was in my city. When I was a kid, this is all mud flats. I lost my shoe in there by there. And I got really told off by my mother because it was a new shoe. They took it away. And it was left over from the Napoleonic fleet. I made into a hospital. And you could walk on this mud and go up to it. Royal Hamadryde Hospital. Stunning bit of Cardiff history taken away from us. That's that mud flooder again. Okay. And 25 foot of level. This is what I want to show you. People, there's something big time going on wrong here. Let me just show you a second. Let me bring up another snap of that. This is the Royal Hotel in my city. I want to show you in the modern day. If I can. There. Excuse me. Now, Royal Hotel in my city, 1800s, okay? 1800s, the clock tower, etc., okay? And statues, beautiful statues on the roof. Right, let's bring this over a bit. Excuse me. So I can show you side by side for a comparison. Okay, perfect. So why would they do this? It's one of the oldest buildings in the city, okay? This is so old. It's a mud flooded. The street was a lot lower level. You cannot find the plans or no pictures of this being built. It's tied in with our history. Scott of the Antarctic. You had a meal in this part. So why would they remove the clocks? Check this out, people. And these statues. And apparently that fireplace, or them fire stacks there and there. This clock taken away and replaced in our time. This is a good clue, people. And why would they take these statues away in that clock? And this lights up probably Park Hotel on the roof. And this is 1800s, this picture, people. The car's not invented. There's ball lads up outside. And we're in Hudson Carriage. I give that 1880s. Earlier, maybe. Present day. Mud flooder, and they've taken it all down. Why would you think that is, people? Why are they taking this down? So they're hiding the past. It's fabricated. They're telling you that's something else. There's no reason why they should take all this away. It's mind-blowing. Anyway, back to the images, people. So, excuse me. I have a lot to bring to you, people, but as you know, as I said, I've got bit on. I'll show you a few more before I shoot off and I summarize. Okay, people, I will be back. I'm sorry I talk quick. I've had such a busy. I got a battle ongoing, people. A battle of wits with a Babylon, and they're trying to do it like a euthanasia type thing. It's not happening. I'm on this, people. I'm on this. I got you lot. Fucking, we're on them. All right, and we're watching all this caper on the flat Earth movement as well, like a shit house rat, don't you know? That is the post office in Cardiff. I can't get an accurate date. They reckon it's the 1930s. It's 100% a mud flood. Yet you can't find any photographs of it being built, even though it's built in that, recent time. Sorry, it's just an old Baptist church in Cardiff I dug up. This used to be an armaments factory. It's a Victorian building. It was on Beresford Road in Cardiff. It was 100% a mud flood. Then it became an armaments factory, World War II. And then it was a biscuit factory. My mother actually worked in there. And then it became Leo's food hall, and then it got burnt down in my lifetime. And then it got knocked down in about 1987. And they keep getting rid. I got 100 proofs right now, people. I could show you the same architecture has been just always random fires. I love this photo. It's Cardiff pals marching off to the trenches of the First World War. They get splattered. Advanced tech. And the architecture of Japan is exactly the same. Apparently, they had a firestorm, took all this out in World War II, and apparently their buildings are made of sticks. When you look into it, that looks exactly like my city, or any American city. What's this? Aerials galore. Okay, so it's not exactly fitting the narrative, is it? Cardiff Castle, another image I found. I don't recognise that. It looks like nothing I've ever seen. The castle that I see is on a giant keep on a hill, and it's supposed to be 1,000-year-old Norman. What that is, I do not know. There she is, that mud flooder. No doubt about it. Okay. And railway stations. I've gone into them before, railway stations. See this? This is from the clock tower of Cardiff Castle, my city. And all of this was demolished. Every single building. They're old, really old. You can see their Tudor style. See that overlapping window? And they knocked the whole thing down in 1909 to make a grass green outside the castle. And here's my city, apparently in the 1700s. And there's nothing there except mud. A town wall. This I sort of recognise, but not really. And nothing else, just mud. There's nothing there. Only that narrow time ago. This is to do with the tarting up of the architecture. As I told you, they could go to great extents to make this good. Okay, and they had knowledge that we never knew they had. Okay, for example, that is actually a ballista bolt or a giant arrow. Organs. Now we go into these, don't we? I don't know what this is, but this is a giant organ. And I think it's part of what they used to put organ music is vibrational, and I think it has healing properties when done at a certain frequency. I don't know, it's advanced stuff, but I got a book of advanced machinery not fitting with the narrative, and another one where they show you the chopping down of the entire trees of Britain and Europe. Just stumps left, and they're chopping the stumps out actually from after an event. Do you reckon? There's one arm on this clock. It's the most advanced water clock I've ever set eyes on, but they're more accurate than your tickety-boo atomic clocks, I bet. Because they're all based on a construct. This is my city in John Speed's Tudor Atlas of the 1500s. And it shows this church St Mary's taken out by a tsunami. Yet this church here was perfectly alright. This close by, tsunami takes that up and not that. There's something wrong with that. Why didn't it get to there? It's not even uphill from it. It's close by. Excuse me. So that's it. I think that's about it. I'm going to upload this now. So Victorian views of my city, Albany Road, and a lady smiling. And there it is again, with the clocks and everything. The clocks were on this side. Is that a clock? They took it all away. I only picked this apart this morning, or yesterday, like last night. Of the picking this part away. They've taken everything away there. And there. That makes no fucking sense, people. It's a big clue, isn't it? I worked on this. When I was working on stonemasonry, I'd done paint stripping. I stripped back 100 years of paint, every layer scraped off using a very, very strong paint strip. Can't tell you, so poisonous. And eventually we got back to this bath stone, and I made, basically after 100 years, made this visible again. You see it now today, in the Castle Arcade. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Cardiff's got some stunning architecture. And there she is again. Why would they do that? Hiding something. So that's it for today, people. Yay, I got through to the end. Thanks, people. It's not easy to do vlogs, you know, when it's boiling hot. And like I made a vlog this morning, halfway through I had a phone call. Really excited nephew, just bought a new drone. He's bringing it up Wednesday or Thursday. Because he does, I don't think he knows how to drive it or fly it. And it's like David Weiss's Maverick one. and it goes up 3 miles. So basically what's happening is my nephew is lending a flat earther a drone that can go up 3 miles. Every flat earther should have a drone, a higher altitude drone, and a P900. I wish, but P9000's coming out soon, isn't it? Yeah, I see. That is going to kill the globe over and over again. Why would they do that? The paradigm is changing. I've seen Matt and Kenny on this morning. They gave him a telephone call. He must have, because he done so well on the last one. Got him in to talk with Eamon Holmes and his lovely wife. To talk about the moon landing, and it was all sort of mainstream and on a telly. I'm on a show maybe Tuesday with Martin, and we'll have a little ask about what it was like, eh? So that's me for the day. Flat Earth British, bringing the love, bringing the sense, and bringing shit or information. So how advanced was the medical knowledge in the past, in antiquity? Well, the knowledge of the human anatomy was off their radar. How are they getting these pictures down? Is, to my mind, just a CT scan, and they look exactly like them. They do. Or they're very, very clever. Okay, I've never seen the like in my life. You have to admit they're mind-blowing. And some overwhelming mud flood evidence discovered by yours truly. But they are loads in that book. Pick every one of those buildings apart, compare it to the modern day, and you can see what's happened. And picks of the day. That's me. Okay, I'm happy with that. martinliedtke7@gmail.com. I cannot go hanging around with people on Hangouts. I have no time. All of that is just going to have to be put on the back burner for now, because I'm out playing fucking stupid games with the establishment. Okay, which is what we have to do in this realm, apparently. Okay, but I won't acquiesce. Anyway, peace and love, and God bless.